This building is quite unique and different than that of the original home of Mulan in Disney's animation. Hello everyone, in this video I'll be explaining to you the home that you see in Disney's live action of Mulan. I will give you a detailed summary of the architecture of this style of home. So thank you for watching, and before we begin, if you're new to this channel or already subscribed, I hope you'll follow me as I post new and creative videos regularly. These are called Tulou, also known as round fortress ramparts, common in southern China, specifically southwestern Fujian. These are round earthen structures that resemble fortresses and can also be found in various forms in the Jiangxi and Guangdong provinces. In many villages, it is possible to see Tulou in various shapes, including square, pentagonal, octagonal, oblong, rhomboid, and, like Mulan's home, round. Most large-scale Tulou like Mulan's would have been built of a composite material known as sanhe, which is a mixture of fine sand, lime, and soil in different ratios rather than simply earth. At the base, these walls are nearly a meter thick, and they were built as a defensive structure that would protect the multiple families that lived inside. Within each Tulou housed many generations of families, each occupying in a segment of the structure. Both photographs reveal the texture and massive character of the walls of tamped earth structures in southwestern Fujian. Only in recent decades, with increasing levels of security, have residents taken to excavating window openings in the lower portions of the walls. For this video, let's use an example. This is Zhencheng Lo, or Inspiring Success Tower, just one of 100 Tulou of various sizes in Hongqing Village. This one was built in 1912 and it looks like this. This is a 4-story circular structure with windows only on 2 levels of the upper wall. Their windows are angled within the thick wall so that the opening inside is wider than that outside, and this is for increased security and to make surveillance for inside easier. Unlike a traditional fortress though, the Tulou wasn't built as a fortress to protect a particular area like a castle. Rather, the Tulou was built as a home for the community of people that lived there. It was meant to provide protection for these people from bandits and other threats, and not necessarily used for war. Multiple Tulou can be built clustered together, which can eventually lead to the development of whole villages and communities. The path leading to this dwelling in Hongqing Village does not lead directly to the gateway, but instead approaches at an angle from the side before sharply turning onto an elevated platform surrounding the structure. This zigzagging shows attentiveness to feng shui considerations, but also probably had a defensive significance as well. As with other fortresses, the massive stone entry portal leads into a gate hall, an entry portico, or menwu, an area that is normally occupied throughout the day by women, children, and the elderly. Here they guard passage into their complex as they perform work, like husking rice and preparing food to be cooked, or for today's tourists, selling postcards. Covered with a sheet of iron, the thick wooden doors are further secured, then closed with a huge beam set horizontally into sockets. While the outer walls are of earthen composition, the structural space within is all built of wood. Inside this Tulou, there is a 2-story inner circle connected to an ancestral hall. At the center is a circular open courtyard, large enough for family ceremonies. This core area is connected to the outer structure by 4 roofed corridors that pass around 4 square sky wells, 2 of which have water wells. Brick walls placed perpendicular to the outer round walls help to buttress the structure. Within the building, wood dominates as the building material. Wooden floor joists are sunk into each of the tamped earthen walls of the upper 3 stories, while a wooden framework of interlocking mortise and tenon pieces gives shape to rooms and verandas. This view between the 2 rings of structures reveals the abundant use of fried bricks for interior walls and partitions, which are then capped by fried clay roof tiles. This Zhencheng Lo is divided into 8 parts, with individual families having 4-story apartments consisting of a series of rooms arranged vertically. In between the inner circle and the outer circle are smaller courtyards that provide additional privacy and living spaces for its families. This plan of the first floor shows the division of the interior space into 8 segments, a separation that has cosmological meanings associated with the 8 trigrams. Much of the layout is symmetrical, including a pair of wells and side entries, corresponding sky wells positioned throughout the building, stairways, and 2 wing structures. Only the toilet is not duplicated on both sides. A hierarchy of spaces is apparent from the entry straight through to the back hall. More prominent Tulou, like Zhencheng Lo, have a pair of symmetrical arc-shaped 2-story structures. One serves as the location of a school for children, while the other extra space is used for storage and bedrooms for visitors. This plan shows rooms on the second floor of both the outer and inner rings. Roofed passageways allow individuals to move freely across and around the structure, even in the most inclement weather. Smaller Tulou, like this example named Zhu Sheng Lo, would have an entryway, and directly opposite that would be the ancestral hall. There is no space for another inner circle, unlike the larger Jin Cheng Lo. Paved with stones harvested from the nearby stream, the courtyard is the center for daily activities because of the presence of its single well and the sunlight that enters during the day. A pair of stairs leads to the 2 upper stories. More than 100 years old, Zhu Sheng Lo is among the smallest round structures in the village, with little more than a 5-meter wide interior courtyard. This view is from the ancestral hall towards the only doorway. At ground level, the space is divided into 12 rooms, an ancestral hall, and an entry portico. Now begs the question, why round shapes when most Chinese structures are square or rectangular? For one thing, a circular wall is able to wrap approximately 1.273 more interior space than a square wall of the same length, according to Chinese calculations. Thus, constructing circular exterior walls compared to straight ones saves scarce building materials. Moreover, the wooden members used to frame interior living quarters can be standardized in dimension, thus reducing the level of carpentry skills needed to complete the project. Also, the modularization of components with a circular roof eliminates the difficult joinery necessary to link the intersecting planes atop a square structure. Some observers also suggest that round shapes are more resistant than other shapes to earthquake damage and are able to deflect the strong winds of seasonal typhoons. In terms of social structure, residential space can be divided more equitably than is the case with square shapes. Doing so provides egalitarian division of assets and a spatial admiration of an aspect of the local people's life that differed from the hierarchical associations so often seen in other Chinese architecture. The Tulou is a communal dwelling built as a fortified structure to protect the families inside. Today, there are some that are striving with continuous occupation of the local population and also the tourists that make the trek to view these magnificent structures. Then there are some that are derelict and left abandoned because the newer generations all move out to the urban parts of China in search of jobs. Overall, these unique homes provide a wonderful insight to the many cultural differences within China itself. So, there you have it, intelligence for your life that you can share with your friends. Once again, thank you for watching. Check out my other videos on my channel and subscribe for more videos.